Hi everybody, it's Russ Salo here with GPS to Go, and I'm really happy today to have a brand new third-party vendor that is working with the GeoTab family, and GPS to Go, of course, as one of the GeoTab dealers. I met Mike Branch from Maps BI down at the Florida GeoTab conference, and Mike has a really interesting and very trendy, cool company that takes the GeoTab data and really does something neat with it, and you're going to see that here. Mike and his team are right in the Toronto area, I understand, so another Canadian company that does fantastic work with the GeoTab data. So, Mike, welcome to our little video from GPS to Go.
Thanks very much for having me, Russ.
My pleasure. So, Maps BI, tell us what Maps BI does to take the GeoTab Checkmate platform and, really, I don't know if you want to say put it on steroids or bring it to the next level, but give us your 30-second commercial about what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Maps BI, GeoTab, first of all, does a fantastic job of, displaying a lot of this data. But, where it might fall short from time to time is in some of the interactivity, some of the dynamics that you can have with a lot of the data that's coming out of Checkmate. So what Maps BI does is it gives you easy visualization into your geographic data. It's very interactive. So, you move your map around, you can see your exceptions within certain areas, where you're harsh braking, where you're idling for too long, where you're stopping for too long. And what's more important is it allows you to actually self-serve reports. So now you don't have to be reliant on some static reports. You can actually use your web front end to be able to customize virtually any report that you need in an interactive fashion. It lets you see this data super easily, and then you can also mash up this data with other line of business data as overlays from CRM systems and that kind of thing.
Well, take us in, and we'll be in your hands. You show us what you guys do to rev up the RPMs in a GeoTab platform.
So right now we're just looking at the Maps BI main page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into our demo instance of my GeoTab here. Okay, and you can see we've got a little Maps BI icon. So for those of you familiar with my GeoTab, you'll notice a very similar infrastructure here, only that we've got this little icon here for Maps BI. And we've configured a couple of different dashboards and databases here for you to have a look at. The one I'll start off with, first of all, is the stop times dashboard that we've got here. So when you come in here, you can click and edit something if you've got those permissions, or you can view it. So I'm going to click on to view the dashboard here and look at the various stop times. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at the Toronto area again, and a heat map of my average stop time for my fleet across the board in Toronto. As I kind of zoom in and zoom out, you'll see that kind of changes, right? And I can also adjust my time frame up here, so it's showing February 25th to March 6th. If I want to go a little bit longer here, I can do that, and you can see how everything changes as well too. So what's important to note with Maps BI is that as soon as you change any of these things, your timeline or you move your map, all of your metrics below here change to what you're actually seeing within that map there. So I'm looking at average stop time, but down here I can see, metrics that show me the number of stops within that area, the average stop time, the max stop time. I can look at my top 5 worst stopping zones, again, within that one area, top 5 vehicles by average stop time. And what's really neat is as you zoom in here to these specific areas, you click on your specific item, you can drill down into more detail, right? So I can see that there were in total, 18 stops there with a total stop time of 685 minutes, and I can see how that's spread across throughout the day. So if I need to do any analytics in real time, I can do that. One of the neat. Yeah, you know what, Russ? It brings the data to life, and sometimes that's really what's needed for somebody to be able to interact and understand their data. They just need it brought to life in a way that they understand.
Maybe you've just come up with the Maps BI mantra. Maps BI, bring your data to life.
Absolutely, because it's almost fun to play around with it at this point in time. I was
Yes.
had it put in my own car, right? The GeoTab device, and looking at how often I would stop at various favorite restaurants, and I can zoom in and
Right.
really interact with the data easily. So here we're showing an average of the stop time, but we could just as easily show a heat map of the number of stops, or a heat map of total stop time. Where am I spending most of my time? So it's again really easy to shift these things around here, and zoom in on specific vehicles as well too. If I want to see this dashboard, but only for a specific vehicle, I can apply that, and I can quite easily see for this specific person where what their average stop time looks like across Toronto, where maybe they are spending most of their time if I sum that up, right? So it's very, very dynamic.
Let me jump in, and I want to recap a couple of things for any of the viewers of this video that are, GeoTab GPS to Go customers. So what you're looking at there is functioning right within your own instance, your own database of Checkmate. So you're not going into the Maps BI world and then having your information, you're not looking for it there. You're going to your regular instance of Checkmate, and if you liked any of the Maps BI applications, this is a third-party application that we can add into your GeoTab Checkmate database, and you would have, and you see there's a Maps BI logo, that would get populated into your toolbar, and then it starts to massage this data. Mike, tell me, what are the top 3 or 4 things? I mean, in this instance, we're looking at a traditional kind of fleet management, what would you call fleet management game, because, we're looking probably at vehicles that are moving, and, most of GPS to Go's customers, they're people that are interested in where are my vehicles, where have they been, what have they been doing, when did they start, when did they finish, how many stops. So you have some out-of-the-box add-ons, I guess, that you can put in and really give that, bring that data to life?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I'd like to share with you as well, too, is just show you how easy it is to make changes to our out-of-the-box data as well, too. So we've got a few ones up here. We've got an exceptions dashboard. We've got a stop times dashboard, a trips dashboard. We've also got one that shows idling times. And then we've got yet another one we've just released, which is on the fuel management side of things, showing you, where you stopped for fuel and, how much fuel was taken at that specific time. But in terms of actually editing things, let's take a look at the exceptions dashboard. So we'll go in here and we'll edit this, okay? And right now, I'm looking at a heat map of exceptions in here. This is all exceptions. So whether I'm, harsh braking, I'm speeding, whether, I'm harsh cornering, that kind of thing. And what you'll notice with Maps BI, I'm in the edit mode here, so if you didn't like something the way we've configured it, you can configure it completely differently yourself. For instance, if you didn't want to look at, a 4x4 grid here, and you wanted it to be, a 3x3 kind of grid, you can do that and, expand your data. So you can kind of, shape it in the way that you'd like to see it. If, for instance, you didn't want to look at the top 5 offending vehicles, maybe you want to look at the top 3, You can come in here to Maps BI, edit this, and change it from top 5 to looking at the top 3 here, right? And save that, and then you're going to see the top 3. And then when I come back to my dashboard, I see the top 3 in here, and then you can expand it to top 10, top 20, that kind of thing. It's very dynamic.
Excellent.
And again, as you click on here as well too, you're seeing, in this case, some exceptions over time, right? So I'm looking at how many exceptions I had in February versus March, exceptions broken down by vehicle. But, in this case, I'm looking at exceptions by month. But, again, it's dynamic. So if I want to show instead exceptions by date instead of by month, I could just as easily do that. So we'll take off month. We'll put in, day here. Save that. And then when we come back to our pop-up, we're going to see exceptions by date instead. So it's very easy to kind of get across what you'd like. Russ, I mean, you just had a client ask us to do something by the hour, right? One of the things we did for them was this trips dashboard here, where you're able to see total stops by hour, and by so from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., we had these vehicles made these many stops, right? And looking at distance driven, right? These were some requirements that came out. It's very easy to really shift these dashboards around into things that you want to see. So what we do at MapsBI, we come up with a few standard ones, and then if you're tech savvy, you can go to it. If you need a little bit of help, we're there to give you some guidance as well too.
That's fantastic. So anybody who's watching this again, who's a GPS to Go customer, if there is something in the MapsBI video here that's really grabbing you, you would reach out to us, reach out to me at GPS to Go. We would talk about the MapsBI application. I would get Mike again if we need. We'll do a live demo and show you how we can massage your data and really bring it to life, as Mike says. Mike, I want to thank you for joining us today. It's been a absolutely really invigorating video here to show people a new evolution of the Checkmate platform. So thank you for joining us.
Great. Happy to be here, Russ.
All right. I'm Russ Salo with GPS to Go. GPS to Go. Now you know.